I've had quite a fun day today. Early this morning, I got the idea. I was laying in bed. I got the idea to put the frequency counter and the Franklin oscillator assembly, or I like to call it my test bed, in a plastic bag, and let's see what happens. It's been on over 4 hours, and the plastic bag, what it does is it evens out the temperature. In other words, the test bed itself generates some heat into the freezer bag, and some temperature can enter through the plastic bag over a period of time. But what I found, it definitely stabilizes the oscillator. So, and in the middle of this, I'm trying to make a video. Windows decides to update, and I start getting this clunky, jerky motion. I'm trying to play my video back. Just now it's later in the day, I tried to delete a file. It wouldn't let me delete the file. It wanted me to let the update again load in, and I did. And then I had to do another reboot, and finally it let me delete the files. But the other day, I had a problem with one of the other programs that wanted to update itself, and then of course Norton goes off, and then Foxfire crashes. So in the interim of using scientific method, all hell keeps breaking loose with this computer. And that's just part of the nonsense of working on any kind of electronic circuit. And I don't like to accept my findings like right away. Like right now, for an hour, it stayed within this range. Right? Means nothing. That's because the sun has come off this front room. It's now in the back of the house. So this room is staying a little bit cooler, thus the frequency went up, and it's staying very stable, like the unit would stay as the temperature in the room. The space heater would come on, and then when it went off, for a period of time after the space heater went off, this unit would become very stable. And you'd say, oh, I got it now. Not necessarily. And I don't always believe I got it now. I know in life I've been tricked so many times, and that's what scientific method is. Don't accept the results you got right away. Now, since the plastic bag worked better than putting a unit in an aluminum box. Remember I told you the aluminum box is basically a heat sink, and it loves to take the heat from inside the box and put it to the outside. It also likes to take some outside temperature and bring it to the inside. So the latest mod that I'll be doing with this little box is I will be using, this is HDPE. Online I was looking up what it was, and some websites say that it's PFEE, or PTFE, and it's not. It's HDPE. HDPE is used in milk cartons, and the other one is PET, is used in the soda bottles. But I find mistakes all the time now on the internet, and I keep hoping to find the holy grail about oscillators. But right now, this thing's been staying within 10 hertz for over an hour, as I've been changing my garbage bags in the room here and going in and out. See, I don't like to keep opening the door to the room because that messes, and that's just what I did. I can disturb this by letting colder air from the rest of the house into this room, and then but the plastic bag did sort of do the trick. You know, it is a freezer bag. It does prevent freezer burn, but it's so funny. I put the oscillator, my VFO, in an aluminum box, and I saw no change at all. It stayed about the same. So now I know I have to line this. I'll cut some pieces of what did I say it was? HDPE, and put it inside the box. And then it'll be under the capacitor in the back. What I'll do is I'll take these parts out, line it with the PT. And what was it? What did I call it? HDPE. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. I can't remember 3 or 4 letters in sequence. I can after a period of time, but sometimes I don't. But anyway, that's what I just wanted to show you. And you know, I'm fighting Windows, and I told you the other day we had the power go off for 3 hours, and there's all kinds of nonsense. But every few weeks or every week, something's updating, and it triggers and crashes. When my Foxfire crashes, it's a half-hour wait for it to get its act together, where I can go online and go on the different websites. That happens a lot. If I'm very busy on the computer and doing a lot of different things, I can count on my Foxfire crashing. And usually it's because I'm viewing the videos using VCL, whatever it is, instead of the Windows unit, because the Windows unit, it likes to do other things. Now, just now, I was trying to delete some videos to get more space, and Windows wouldn't let me delete them, so I had to do a reboot again. Now it lets me delete them. It never ends. You know, whenever you got one problem, two other problems of somewhere else go wrong. Like in our case, you put the garbage out, the guy don't come, you got to bring the garbage back in, or there's all these things that are happening as I'm trying to think about what I want to do. Now this has gone down a little bit because the temperature of me opening and closing the door. But you know, we're talking an oscillator that if you get the right circumstances at 6 megahertz is better than a crystal itself. And don't be fooled, crystals drift, but when they don't want them to drift as much, they stick them in an oven. And go read up on it. It's pretty interesting, because I used to accept the fact you plug a crystal in and that's the end of the story. And then I noticed with the R71A, one of my units had a high stability crystal in it, and it was doing better with the fax than the other ones. I kept switching back and forth, and then I realized I had a high stability crystal. And once you let the other radio warm up, it's just as good. But you put the unit on real quick, you want to get a fax picture. This is years ago, and the brightness of the fax would be off. And see, I got a truck outside my house now, floating around. Okay, he's gone. There's always some nonsense here that distracts me. I'm very easily distracted. But anyway, years ago, I would notice the tone on the fax machine had shifted. And then I located it down to the fact that on R71A, from cold to being on a while, it does drift. And you don't see it in the readout unless you go real fine and really look at the hertz, and you'll see it does drift. And this has gone down a little bit, but you know, it's still per hour. It's still 30 hertz. It's actually within 20 hertz. By the way, I'm still on this. The next experiment is lining my VFO with the HDPE. All right, that's it for today. Man, today's been a horrible day. The weather is great out there. I went for a nice long walk, and that has been fine. But the computer, oh man, every time you go to do something and you're being productive, Windows wants to do something else. There is a YouTube video where I think they're trying to land a lunar lander on the moon, and the whole system goes down because Windows wants to update. It's a pretty funny video. I think that's it. All right, that's it.